Welcome to English Literature CBSE Class 7 Honeycomb Chapter 3. And today's chapter Gopal and the Hilsa Fish by Narendra Bijwal. Gopal and the Hilsa Fish. Let's read the introduction to the story. Gopal and the Hilsa Fish is a popular folk tale about Gopal Bhar, a witty court jester of Raja Krishna Chandra in medieval Bengal, known for his cleverness and humorous ways. Here, the word Bhar actually means someone entertains, like a clown. And this Gopal and the Hilsa Fish is a popular folk tale. Folk tale is something, it's a story which is very famous in a particular culture. In a popular culture, it originates there and is typically passed on from generation to generation by word of mouth. So people narrate this story to one generation. It goes on from generation to generation. So Gopal and the Hilsa Fish, it's a folk tale, very famous, about a person named Gopal who was a witty, clever jester in the court of Raja Krishna Chandra in medieval Bengal. And he was very famous for his cleverness and humorous ways. This story revolves around Gopal, who is challenged by the king to bring a Hilsa fish from the market to the palace without anyone mentioning the fish. This story shows Gopal's cleverness and ability to distract people from a specific topic by employing a unique strategy. Let's see the theme. The story Gopal and the Hilsa Fish covers the theme of obsession, human behavior, intelligence, wit and the power of creativity in problem solving and dealing with difficult situations in life. This proves that nothing is impossible in life and to every problem there is a solution. Now let's read the story Gopal and the Hilsa Fish. Before reading proceeds, let me tell you this is set in a Bengali village. So you may find some reference to a place or a particular description where you see Bengal. For example, the very title Gopal and the Hilsa Fish. Hilsa in English, Bengali, very popular, Ilish. Ilish or Hilsa is a highly prized delicacy and a cultural icon in Bengal, particularly West Bengal, and also it's famous in Bangladesh. So, it was the season for Hilsa fish and fishermen could think of nothing but Hilsa fish. Fishmongers sold nothing but Hilsa fish. So, because people went fishing, they caught so many fish, different kinds, and Hilsa was very famous, popular and costly too, and people everywhere were selling fish. That was Hilsa. People were shouting, the sellers, the fishmongers, "Come, the price of Hilsa is down today." So fishmongers would sell and householders could talk of nothing but Hilsa fish. Everybody, whoever went to market, they used to buy. So one woman asked, "How much did you pay for that Hilsa? You wouldn't believe if I told you." So it was a Hilsa season, so famous. Every household they were having Hilsa and they were discussing about the price and all. It's a very tasty fish. So everybody was interested in it. And in the palace too, the courtiers could discuss nothing but Hilsa fish. "Your Majesty, you should have seen the huge Hilsa I caught. It was..." And he went on and on. So not only in the village or every household, but in the palace too, the discussion was nothing else but fish. That too, not any fish, but Hilsa or Ilish. The continued discussion on Hilsa fish irritated the king and he shouted, "Stop it! Are you a courtier or a fisherman?" The courtier fell silent with downcast eyes. The king felt guilty. So the courtier became sad and lowered his eyes and looked down. The king felt very guilty for scolding an innocent man because he was only discussing. Now the king said, "I'm sorry, I lost my temper. It is the season for Hilsa Fish and no one, not even Gopal, can stop anyone from talking about Hilsa Fish. Not even for 5 minutes." Gopal was standing there in the court. There were so many people. Gopal was among them and he remarked, "Oh, I think I could, Your Majesty." The king remarked, "Then let me see you buy a huge Hilsa fish and bring it to the palace without anyone asking you a word about it." "I accept your challenge, Your Majesty." Gopal accepted the challenge. A few days passed by. After some days, suddenly a day, Gopal and his wife were at home. His wife saw something and she asked, "Why is your face half shaven?" "I am dressing up to buy a fish." "What's the matter with you? Why are you smearing yourself with ash?" "I told you I am dressing up to buy a fish, a Hilsa fish." In this scene, you see Gopal and his wife, they are conversing. The wife is shocked to see Gopal's appearance and she exclaims, "Why is it so? Why is your face half shaven?" And Gopal then began smearing ash, putting on ash, rubbing ash all over his face. And the wife was shocked. She again asked the question, "Why are you doing this?" Gopal kept only one answer. "What is it?" "I am dressing up to buy a Hilsa fish." The wife was shocked. She could understand nothing. And she said the same thing. "Please listen to me. You can't possibly go out in those disgraceful rags. What are you up to? How many times must I tell you, woman? I am out to buy a huge Hilsa fish." First, Gopal's wife saw his half-shaven face. Then the face smeared with ash. Now he was wearing rags, torn clothes, and the wife could not tolerate. And she, very shocked, very upset, she said, "Stop, don't go out of the house. You look terrible." Gopal said, "No, I have to go. I told you I am going to buy a fish and I am going." So saying, Gopal headed towards the market. And the wife was there at the door thinking, "It's happened to him. He has gone mad." So the wife thought the husband must have gone mad. That is why he is dressed in such a look. Appearance is so terrible. After leaving home, Gopal went to the market, bought the Hilsa fish and started walking towards the palace. On his way in the market, he met so many people. There were so many people. People mocked him. A girl asked her mother, "Mother, look at that man. Isn't he comical?" Some other people, a man, "He must be a madman." "No, shh, I think he is a mystic." So people asked him nothing. They discussed among themselves about his appearance. They were intrigued. His appearance was different. It was something interesting, more interesting than the fish in his hand. Remember the challenge? Nobody asked him anything about the fish. He walked on and people discussed only his appearance. Gopal headed towards the court. He was stopped at the palace gates by the guards. One of the guards asked, "What do you want?" Gopal replied, "I want to see the king." "You can't see the king. Get away with you." So the guards did not allow Gopal to enter the court and see the king. Now Gopal had to enter anyhow. So he began to dance and sing loudly. The king was inside the palace and he could hear from there, "That man is crazy. Throw him out at once. I want to see the king. Let me in." So all these things the king could hear and he called a guard and said, "Bring the man to me at once," he ordered. The guard said, "Yes, Your Majesty." As per the king's wish, Gopal was brought before the king. There were courtiers present and they all began to discuss. One of them said, "Oh, it's Gopal!" Another said, "The man has lost his mind." Still others said, "No, I think it is one of his crazy jokes." Everybody was shocked to see Gopal's appearance. The king was shocked and he shouted, "All right, Gopal, out with it. Why are you dressed up in this ridiculous fashion?" Gopal smiled and answered, "Your Majesty, you seem to have forgotten something." The king was puzzled and asked, "Forgotten something?" Gopal smiled and said, "Strangely enough, no one seems to be interested in Hilsa Fish today. From the market to the palace and in the court, not a soul has spoken a word about Hilsa Fish." So here Gopal reminded the king of his challenge. He said, "Yes, sir, you have forgotten something, Majesty. You see, I have this fish with me." And nobody asked anything about the fish. Neither the people who I met on the way to the palace, nor the guards, not a person in this court, not even you. Everybody was preoccupied with his appearance. Nobody noticed the fish that he had in his hand. And that is a proof that you can distract people's attention. And the king was really shocked with this. It was really amazing. Only then did the king remember the challenge he had thrown to Gopal. See, now after looking at everything, when Gopal had explained everything, the king realized, "Oh, this is what, yes, it's true, his appearance." And the king laughed and said, "Ha ha ha, Gopal, congratulations, you have achieved the impossible again." So Gopal, congratulations, well done. You have proven yourself once again that you are a very clever man. You have won the challenge. Let us summarize the whole thing. Gopal and the Hilsa Fish is a story about a clever courtier, Gopal, who accepts a challenge from the king to buy a Hilsa fish and bring it to the palace without anyone mentioning the fish or asking him anything about the fish. Gopal cleverly uses a disguise. He shaved half of his face and smeared ash on it. He wore ragged clothes and reached the market to buy Hilsa and take it to the palace. On his way to the palace, he met many people. Nobody asked him about the fish. Everyone was interested in his appearance. Even the palace guards, the courtiers, including the king himself, were intrigued with his appearance. People did not notice the fish in his hand. They paid no attention to the fish. This proves in the story that Gopal successfully completes the challenge with his intelligence. So he proves that intelligence and wit are a great weapon by completing the challenge. Let's see some of the word meanings. First, believe, which is to trust or have faith in. Courtier means an advisor to the king or one who attends royal court. Downcast is sad or disappointed. Guilty, to be at fault. Your Majesty, Majesty is supreme. Your Majesty is a formal way to address a king or queen. Challenge is a test or task. Smear means to rub or spread. Disgraceful is shameful or embarrassing, you could say. Rag is shreds or torn clothes or tattered clothes. Tattered. Comical is funny or hilarious. Mystic is a sage or a spiritualist. Ridiculous is silly or absurd. Fashion is style or way. Soul is an individual or a person, or it can refer to in body. Interested is fascinated or concerned. Thank you. With creativity, intelligence, and close observation, everything is possible. Every problem has a solution. The story of Gopal proves it, that cleverness can bring every success to a man. There is nothing which is impossible. And yes, you should not judge a book by its cover. Gopal may be just a courtier, but he was a great intelligence. He had great mind power. Let's answer some questions. Why did the king want no more talk about the Hilsa fish? The king was irritated and angry with everyone talking around him about Hilsa fish. Question number 2. What did the king ask Gopal to do to prove that he was clever? Very easy, we have already read. The king asked Gopal to buy a huge Hilsa from the market, bring it to the palace without anyone mentioning the fish on his way. That is, nobody should ask him a thing about a fish, the Hilsa. That was the challenge. Question 3. What 3 things did Gopal do before he went to buy his Hilsa fish? Gopal half shaved his face. He smeared ash on his face and wore rags before going out to buy the fish. How did Gopal get inside the palace to see the king after he had bought the fish? We have read Gopal reached the gates, palace gates, and he was stopped by the guards. He was not allowed to enter the courts. So he began to sing loudly and danced in front of the gate, palace gate. The king heard noise, asked the guards to bring the man inside. Question 5. Explain why no one seemed to be interested in talking about the Hilsa fish which Gopal had bought. Gopal's appearance was very intriguing. People were interested. It was very curious. They were curious to know about it. He was half shaven, ash smeared all over his face, dressed in rags. People were more interested in him than the fish in his hand. For any other question or a chapter, you can use the comment section. Like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you.